Okay, we have 3:05, and maybe we can already start our event. So welcome everyone. Nice to see so many people. As I see, like about 30 persons external our consortium joined. So quite good number. Maybe more people join on the way. I want to say that this event will be also recorded, and you can find it later to watch and to see the presentations for the future. My name is Aiste Litvinaityje-Jablonskienė, and I'm a partner in the Creathriv-EU project, Euroclusters program funded by European Union. And as you know already, we have some funding, cascade funding for SMEs. And today we want to represent you this opportunity. So this event and this call in general is for SMEs working in the creative cultural industries. So today we have a info session just to let you know better about the opportunity, about the call and the rules and the requirements, and also we want to answer your questions that you probably have if you want to participate. So maybe we can start with our project manager, Giovanni Scaramuzzo. He will make an introduction about the project, and later we will continue with some specific objectives and challenges. And then later we're also going to have a opportunity to show you how to fill the application, just a quick tutorial to see how everything should be done, just to make you the process easy, to go to this process easier. And later we're going to have a discussion and Q&A session. I want to say that you can write your questions in the chat if you want. We're going to revise it and then to answer it later. If some questions are very related to some topics that we are representing, we can answer it quick after the presentation. But in general, all the questions will be answered later in the Q&A session. So let's begin with Giovanni, please. Floor is yours.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. It's a pleasure to see that that many participants for today's session. So I start to give you an introduction about the project, and then as I said, there will be other speakers after me to go into details with the call, which is the main aim of this meeting. So the project Euroclusters for Thriving Creative and Cultural Industries, Creathriv-EU, was born under the Single Market Program, the project for this joint cluster initiative, and the main aim was to put the ecosystem, in our case, the creative and cultural industries, on a development path after the COVID, because as you know, creative and cultural industries was one of the sectors most badly affected by the COVID pandemic. So our ambition was to create an approach using also cascade funding to help European creative and cultural industry becomes more competitive, more resilient, more innovative, and and to address the twin transition. So, as I said, the main objectives are this one: building resilience of the CCIs ecosystem, promoting the twin transition, supporting the up and reskilling of the workforce, and support internationalization, and how we address this challenge through cluster collaboration. In fact, in the project, the The project is implemented by a consortium of 5 European clusters. That are Basilicata Creativa is the cluster that I represent, and is the cluster for creative and cultural industries in Basilicata, a region in the south of Italy. Then we have Baltic Film and Creative Tech cluster in Lithuania, InnoScart Digital cluster in Hungary, Twist Technology from Bologna for image, sound, and text from Belgium, and Coralia in Greece. In order to address the very ambitious aim that we have, we developed an approach that is made of 4 building blocks. The first one is building intelligence. Basically, in this work package, we developed some desk research involving also the SMEs, because the idea was to understand what was the real situation of the CCIs, the SMEs in the CCIs, what are the needs of the SMEs in order to define better services and to be better able to support them also through this project. In this activity, we were also in this work package, we were also addressing cluster managers, the cluster managers of the partner of this project, to understand what are their knowledge gaps, with the final aim to provide better support to the SMEs. Then there is another work package which is called Building Bridges. That the idea is to build a permanent network of stakeholders in the European CCI that could address the main challenges of the sector, of the ecosystem, and provide the European Commission and policymakers with some feedbacks that can help define better policies for the ecosystem. Another building block is building skills, aiming at increasing the skills of cluster managers to provide better services to the SMEs. As you see, SMEs are at the core of the project. And finally, there is Building Future, which is the specific work packages for direct support to the SMEs, mainly through the grant, the cascade funding. By putting these building blocks together, we aim at support of digitalization, the internationalization, and the green transition of the CCI ecosystem. This was my last slide for now, and I yield the floor to Zsolt.
Thank you very much for the perfect pronunciation of my name. And my name is Zsolt Keresztúri. I am a cluster manager and managing director at InnoScart Digital Cluster Hungary. And now I would like to go deep into the details of what kind of grants are available. Can you go on, Ruta? Thank you. So basically, I would like to tell some words about what we have already done before the project application and in the project, because we have to see what kind of challenges are in this CCI industry. And I will tell you more about what the CCI industry is later. So we did already a report on the value chain analysis, where we saw what kind of challenges are emerging in the European CCI industries. Basically, I don't want to go through all the 8 points, but maybe it's important that a green transition in the SME agenda needs to be reinforced, and maybe the digitalization is really a driving force in the whole CCIs. As far as I know, some parts of the CCI industry, namely filming industry, let's say, is one of the pioneer greening sectors in the world. Yes, we can go on. So we also mapped already inside the project the knowledge gaps. So there we set up some innovation theories, organization theories, and change management. And we see already that we have to put a special emphasis on the internationalization support. You will see that there will be some special grants, special vouchers for visiting, let's say, innovation fairs. And another main issue is increasing the level of soft skills. Yes. And one of the first results also is that the launch was officially, the call was officially launched at the end of March. Okay. So what are the specific challenges of our consortium, let's say, of the whole CCI needs? So there is a need of diversification of product, service, content based on digital technologies, mainly in the heritage, archive, and library CCI sector. So that's one of the main sectors we are focusing on. Yes, we can go on. The second sector, let's say, is the audiovisual, multimedia, film sector, and performing arts. This is also an area we would like to focus. Yes. The third one is a more horizontal challenge. So we should bridge the skill gaps of the CCI workforce and supporting women, mainly the bigger participation of women. Yes. And what I already mentioned is increasing the business opportunities. So internationalization will be one of the main features, and you will see that many travel grants can be available later on. Okay. So now I would like to speak about the main feature of the whole story is the applicants. So who can submit an application? It's very important that you have to stick to the rules of the European Union, and you have to be an SME on the European Union level, let's say. There is a self-declaration, but it's a must. You have to do it. Already we received questions whether a new company can apply for these grants, and our answer is that in case they can do the self-declared SME status in accordance with the SME definition of the European Union, then they can. It's also important to fall under the eligible EU NASA codes and the territorial scope of our main of our project, which is basically the European Union, including all the European Union countries and some other countries out of the EU. So, for example, Turkey is in, however, the UK is not in. So a British company itself cannot apply. And of course, you have to meet the criteria of one of the specific objectives and challenges of Creathriv-EU project. I would like to emphasize here that there is a guide for applicants which have to be read thoroughly, because many questions can be answered if you read this document. We will speak about it later, where you can find it and how you can find it, and we will go through the whole application process. But again, it's very important to be aware that the guide for applicants is the kind of Bible of our project. Okay. So we offer financial support in the form of lump sum grants. It is also a rule inside our project that the cumulated grant cannot be more than 38,500 euro, even if you use multiple grants, or if you apply for multiple ones. It is also an important rule that each small and medium-sized company can apply to one or several types of grants, or not only to one, but the cumulative amount cannot be more than this amount you can see above. Okay. So what kind of grants do we offer? First of all, we are offering the so-called small-scale projects, which is 5,000 euro. And this will help companies to get access to consultant companies, to advisory services, which will increase their competitiveness by being more digital, more green, by doing a risk mitigation plan or risk management. So it's a thorough mapping of the specific SME needs. And here, hopefully, we have also matchmaking partners from both parts, so from the applicant parts and from the advisory parts, because it has to be stated that it might be this whole story might be interesting for both sides. Okay. Yes, also inside the small scale project chapter, let's say, you can get access to funds for upskilling or reskilling if you want to strengthen your workforce via training. So you can use this money, let's say, for training or capacity building activities in the fields of digital skills and technologies, business management, and specific domains of CCIs, which might be even sub-specific if we speak about, let's say, archives or film industry. Okay. The biggest amount you can get access to is in the framework of the so-called collaboration pilot projects. This is an aim which supports the green and digital transition, or green or digital transition in the CCI industry. It's also a must that small and medium-sized companies must cooperate with at least another organization, which can be a university, which can be a research institute, which can be a big company, all kind of players in the CCI industry. And the grants will support the implementation for the development and deployment of prototypes, which have a minimum of level of CRL and TRL, so commercial and technological readiness level, which can be also found in special documents. So the activities which we support with the collaboration pilot project grant is the deployment of emerging technology and the improvement of existing product or technology. Even if you would like, let's say, you are working already, you are not working now in the CCI industry, but you have a solution which might be really interesting, let's say, for libraries or for archives, then we can support this as well. Okay. I already told some words about the travel grants. There are two types of travel grants, the intra-EU and the extra-EU travel grants. It means that if you would like to participate in a business mission, or you would like to attend a seminar fair in, let's say, in Paris, then you can get 1,500 euros. And if you would like to go, let's say, to Toronto or to Beijing for a business mission, or to an event which is related to the CCI industry, of course, it has to be related somehow, then you can get access to 5,000 SME, 5,000 euros. This is the amount, so you cannot get less. So if we speak about 5,000, then you will receive 5,000, and we cannot say that you can get only 3,500. Of course, for each grant, you have to submit the proofs that you have participated in the mission, and of course, for the collaboration projects, other kind of proofs, which are again in the guide for applicants. Okay. The timeline is it will be closed already on the 2nd of May. So we still have, let's say, 1 month. We have already finalized the application, submitted applications, finished applications which are not submitted yet, and many which are under preparation. After this date, the consortium and the evaluators, which will be transparent, of course, will have more or less 2 months for the evaluation, and then at the end of July, the signature of the sub-grant agreement can be signed already. Okay. Again, I don't emphasize, but it's really important to read again the guide for applicants. And the applications must be submitted through a special platform, which you might know already. It's not specifically, it was not prepared specifically for this call, but this is the F6S platform. Giovanni will explain the whole process in a couple of minutes. Of course, everything has to be in English, and double funding must be avoided. Okay. Giovanni, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Zsolt. I don't know if there are urgent questions to be dealt with now, or if we move on with the presentation and then keep the questions for later. Okay. So, as Zsolt said, the submission platform that we selected is F6S. The link is f6s.com. It's easy to remember. And when you the first thing to do there is to create a personal profile that can be done also using your social network account, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, or just your email. Next, please. So once you have created your profile, you just go into the search bar, type Creathriv-EU, and you will be sent to the page of the call. Next. So once you are landed on the polls page, you need to create your company profile, which is just if you don't have already a company profile linked to your personal profile, you can create one company profile typing simply your company name, and then you'll have access to the application form. Next one. Okay, so I think that we can start this brief tutorial. I'll share my screen, and okay. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I've already created the profile. I can log out, and so if you don't have the profile, you create one. So I created a profile using my email. Just log in. Creathriv-EU. I see here two results. Obviously, you need to go on the relevant one is Creathriv-EU first call. The other one is the Creathriv-EU general page. I click here, and I can decide in this moment if I can, since I already done this presentation, so I have a profile, but I can decide if I want to choose from existing company or create a new. I can basically create a new company called Test One. Oh, okay. Okay, I can invite other people to join my application, but it's not this case. So as you see, the first thing that you are told is that before starting your application, please check the guide for applicants that you can see here and the FAQ. You have the two links here. Then the first very important question is what kind of grants are you applying for? Here I can select the 5 available grants that there are at the moment. As Jolt said in the beginning, you can select for more than one grant, but in order to do it, you need to start the process from the scratch. Once you have completed your application, for instance, for the small scale project, you can start another application for the up-reskilling, but you need to start from the scratch. I mean, creating a new personal profile using a different email and the new name of the company. This is the only issue in this platform. Obviously, that the other information that you will put here, postal address, will be the company name will be the same for the different application, because even if now I'm submitting this application as test 9.1, here I'm asked the name of the company, the real name. So I will put, for instance, Basilicata Creativa, which is my cluster. I'll select one project, for instance, up-reskilling. The first thing is, after the name and the type of grant, I'm asked if my company is an SME. Either you are an SME or you are not eligible for this call. You have a link to the SME definition of the European Union definition of the SME, and as reminded by Jolt, you need to perform a self-assessment and to annex that self-assessment to your application. These are let's say, undergoing the self-assessment, let's say, is a way to avoid a lot of doubts, like is my organization eligible or not? Is a no profit eligible or not? Is a new company eligible or not? If you can, if you have the data to undergo the self-assessment, and the self-assessment says that you are an SME, you are an SME, no matter your legal status, if you are for profit or no profit. So the SME can be for and non-for-profit. So I say yes. Then NACE code of your primary business activity. The NACE codes, we have already been asked if it's the NACE code list is compulsory. You need to fall into one of those NACE codes. I confirm that either you are within this list or you are not eligible for this code. I'll select one random. Postal address, country. The eligible country for this call are all the European countries and the countries associated to the SME single market program. I'll select Italy. And then you need to specify your NUTS region. Why we ask this information is because according to the guide for applicants, in the territorial scope of the call, There are some criteria to avoid ex aequo. For instance, in case two applications have the same results, priority will be given to the applicants from EU 13 countries. What are EU 13 countries? Are those countries that joined the European Union between 2004 and 2007. That are mainly the Central Eastern European countries plus Malta and Cyprus, if I'm correct. Those countries. And the NUTS 2 is what we call in Italy region, is the territorial level to implement the regional policy. And in case two applications have the same score, there is a condition say that priority will be given to those regions that are less developed. And we have a map to see what are the regions that are less developed, because these are open policy documents. So I don't remember the NUTS code of Basilicata. It would be something like. But you need to check this list and then select the correct one, telephone number, blah blah blah. So website. All these information are compulsory. Name of the contact person, mail. Your last annual turnover. This is if you can fill in the SME self-assessment, you have this data. If you don't have this data, if you don't have any turnover officially registered, you are not eligible for this specific call. There is no limit. It can be also 500 euros, but we need a piece of information here. Then there are these spaces, these boxes to include information about partners. These are required just for collaboration pilot projects. And as I don't know if this was already said or not, but the partner organization can be whatever type of organization. It's just the applicant that needs to be an SME. The partner can be SME, large company, research organization. So it's we are open on that, and it can be also an organization from a different sector than CCI, because it's the SMEs that needs to fall within the NACE code scope of the code. The other organization can be whatever. The project can be cross-sectorial. Then you need to select a specific objective. The specific objectives are are written here. So you can select the ones that you think you'll address with your proposal. The specific objectives that we have here are those that were represented by the call for proposals. So we have network for resilience, innovate for strategic autonomy, adopt processing technologies, go international. Obviously, if you are applying for travel grants, I expect you to address the go international specific objectives. Needs to be consistent between your proposal, the objectives of your proposal, and the specific objective that you address. And after the specific objective, there are the challenges that you need to select one challenge that the specific proposal will address. I'd say increasing business opportunities through internationalization and synergies. And now there is the summary of the project, where we expect you to explain briefly 1,000 characters. You cannot write more than that. It's limited by by the software, by the platform. You need to express basically what are the objectives, how will you achieve those objectives, and more or less who will be involved. Just a brief idea on your proposal. Something. And obviously, I'll not draft a real summary because I have no project in my mind. The starting date for the project can be from September, or as soon as you receive the evaluation and we sign the grant agreement. Let's say 1st September should be feasible. And duration in months. We have limited to the duration that you can say in 10 months because all the activities should be concluded by April 2024, because obviously then there is the reporting phase. You need to report to us what are your achievements, and we need to report to the European Commission, and we will need your reports that should be evaluated in order to make the final payment, because there will be two installments for the projects, and there will be two installments for the project. The first one after the signature of the grant agreement, and the second one at the end of the project. So you need to select duration and the expected end date of the activity, and just these two questions are to avoid cases of double funding. So first is, we are asking you if you have already submitted the idea under another call for grants, which is okay, but obviously obviously when the project starts, if the same project was started under another funding program, you will not be allowed to get any other funding from us, because it's double funding is absolutely not possible in the EU. So it's better to have two no here instead of one yes and one no. Then let's move to the part excellence. This excellence first part is made of 3 questions that, if you saw the evaluation criteria, these 3 questions should answer to one. The evaluator, when reading these 3 parts, will ask question if the activities and approach are relevant to address the strategic objectives and specific challenges of Creathriv-EU. So when you draft this part, you need to take into account what are the strategic objectives and challenges that your project will deal with. So the first part is explain briefly what are your project objectives. We expect high consistency between this objective and the core specific objectives. The second one is what is your approach? How will you achieve this objective? What is the strategy for achieving the proposed objective? And finally, how these activities, how your approach will contribute to tackle the specific challenge selected in the first part of the form. Then there is the excellence two questions. This first excellence one will be evaluated with a score that goes from 0 to 5, as you have seen in the guide for applicants. The second part is excellence 2. This section will be evaluated taking into consideration the question if the proposed activities and approach are relevant to address the Creathriv-EU strategic and specific challenge. No, here there is a mistake because the real question here is the questions that evaluators will check is if the project relevant from a sectoral point of view, if the project is relevant for the CCI ecosystem. So it's as it said, please explain briefly the relevance of your proposed activities for the CCI ecosystem. If you are, for instance, if you are going to I don't know, to Asia for a business mission, you can say how your mission is relevant. Obviously, it's relevant for your company, but how this mission is also relevant from a sectoral perspective. So, what can be the follow-up results of these activities that will benefit the whole ecosystem? The second part of the form is called impact. Also, in this part we have two subsections. The first one is the aims at understanding how the project will help company improve its sustainability. Sustainability for us means economic, environmental, and social sustainability. So these 2,500 characters will be used to explain this, and all these three aspects of sustainability will be taken into account. And this specific part will be evaluated from 0 to 5. Then there is impact 2 that wants to check what are the tangible outputs of the project. So obviously, as usual, the outputs, the objectives need to be achievable, sustainable, and real, tangible in this case. Finally, there is the implementation part. The first of the two sections related to implementation is describing briefly what are the tasks to be implemented and their time frame. We expect to have a kind of logical sequence of activities, a Gantt. We don't expect all the activities to last 10 months, for instance. So a work plan. We expect here what is called a work plan. And in the second section, we want to know who will be implementing that project, because the idea can be wonderful, is really aligned with the Creathriv-EU objectives, addresses a specific challenge. The approach is okay, but there is no capacity for achieving the objective and implementing it. So, short profile of the people that will be involved in the implementation, the profile of your advisor. We expect you before, when you submit a small-scale grant proposal for a small-scale project, we expect you to know who will be advising you on a specific topic. We don't expect you to get the funding and then starting a market research. So, and we would like to read here who will be assisting you in the case of a small scale project, in the case of also in case of training, who will be training you. So be as precise as possible, provide evaluators with clear ideas of what you will do, who will be implementing what. So it's very important. And for collaboration pilot project, profile of the company, profile of the people that will be implementing the project. The final part is about attachments. As there are some limits, please don't forget to attach the SME self-assessment, because if anything else that you can attach, a pitch, script, whatever, can be relevant, but doesn't. It's not an eligibility condition. The SME self-assessment, if we find application without the self-assessment, we cannot consider those applications eligible for this call. So please bear in mind this before going on with anything else. Make the self-assessment and attach it to your application. That's all for me. I don't know if I think that if there are questions, we'll be happy. As I said in the beginning, if you want to make more applications, you need to create more personal profile and more company profiles. But obviously, when you draft the application, when you are asked your company name, I expect the company name to be the same. Basilicata Creativa applying for small scale project, Basilicata Creativa applying for travel grant, and so on and so forth. Okay. Would you explain more? I got a few questions. Okay, Ruta, shall we take?
Yes.
How should we go with the Q&A?
I think we can go through the ones that are in the chat now, and then we can do a live session, I guess. Aista, what do you think?
Yes, sure. Some of these questions, I believe, are already answered, but maybe Giovanni can explain, or Zlost can explain more about some parts of the. Like, should I read the questions maybe, and you can answer them?
Okay, may I ask if the national? Oh, sorry.
Yes. Okay. So. Yeah, the first question was, this is the first question that it was already answered. Yeah, may I ask if the National Film Archive Prague, which is a public contributory organization funded by the Ministry of Culture, is an eligible applicant in this call? Yes, please, Giovanni, maybe you can answer this.
Yeah. It's a publicly owned company, so this is something that is not clear. Is the you get
budgetary organization, as I understand, is like a budgetary organization that is directly financed from the budget. So it's, in my opinion, it's not an SME.
Yeah.
So
Also for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not. Yeah.
So the first question.
Okay, the second question. I would also like to ask if an SME can collaborate with an NGO for the co-pilot projects.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, actually, we didn't include NGO in the what kind of organization are you collaborating with, but I think that we can add the NGO to the list.
Yeah, but actually, this is the SME which receives the money. It's important.
Yeah.
And then with whomever they would like to work with, it's there.
Yeah. We need just to add the NGO to the list, but I don't think it's a main issue. So we can't apply for two types of grants for the same project.
It was already answered, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, but two type of grants for the same project. What do you mean? I'm asking openly to Mike, because I think that you can apply for the same, let's say, I don't, yeah, please explain, because I think that the question is not, the answer is not that easy, because for me, a company can apply with the same idea for travel mission within EU and outside the EU, but I think that those are not the same project.
So we have an ongoing project actually, where we actually show the game, on some expos, but we are also collaborating with another company on that project. So my question is it possible for us to, apply for the travel grant, but also apply for the, the 20,000, which is a collaboration pilot project?
Yeah,
It's possible. Yes.
Okay, my follow-up question, which is, also asked, is how do we do that? That wasn't very obvious on the platform.
Yeah, but the travel grant, I expect the travel grant proposal to address the challenge of the specific objective of internationalization, no matter what is your product that you would like to internationalize. But you are going international, so that project has a specific mission to go international, whilst the collaboration project will focus more on digitalization and green transition, that I see them different projects. So I don't know if you have anything to add, Zsolt, to...
No, that's it. You can. Maybe it's important to mention, we didn't really speak about that there is a pre-financing for all the grants, but the travel grants.
The
45% of the pre-financing I didn't mention, or we didn't mention, but it might be interesting.
Yeah, for travel grants, since this is a lump sum, so there is no financial reporting, you will be paid according to the results you achieve and the activities implemented. For travel grants, the activities that are eligible since the day you submit your application. I mean that you don't need to wait signing the contract, the grant agreement. You can also travel before signing the grant agreement. If your proposal will be accepted, then you will get the travel grant. This is at your own risk, but I think that if you have already planned a mission that is important for your company, you will do that mission. But consider that that mission can be part of a project application.
Okay, then second question is annual turnover for 2021 or 2022. Maybe you can answer this, like if you have officially only confirmed for 2021 and your organization is longly working already, 2021 is enough, because if you're in your country, you are not still obliged to have 22 already in this confirmed, then it's totally enough. But if already your organization is, for example, quite new, and only established in 2022, for example, and you still want to apply, you just discuss with the partners actually that this organization can apply if it has the other requirements of the turnover, and this, but then you have to provide already this confirmed a financial report that you have to put it in your own system in your country, that a bit earlier than the official date is, and then you can apply here and to give us this report, and then it's 2022 is already okay. So that would be the answer. Maybe colleagues can can add something.
It's what you said.
Okay. Then the second question is, each excellence describes a specific grant, for example, travel grants, or in general, the aim of the project. Okay, here maybe, Giovanni, you can, or Zlos can answer this question better.
You mean the different excellence section that we have in the application form? Is that your question, Vana?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean that for each grant, we explain the aim of this grant, not in general for the project.
I think that each application is a project in our
Yes.
case. So for each application, we expect to draft all the application form that expect to be slightly different from one to the other. So probably you have a bigger project for the company, and the application that you will submit under Creathriv-EU grant will be pieces of the same of your bigger project. But for each section is you need to answer those questions. So I don't know if I made myself clear, or if
Yes.
you.
It's okay. So the only information that it will be the same between the projects is the information about our company.
Yeah, the information about your company will be the same if you submit more than one application.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Every specific. So there is another question from Thomas. Every specific grant you rewrite from the scratch. Yes, as I said, you submit the first application, and then you need to create another profile with another email and another company profile, even if the information that you will put into the application about your company will be the same. This is an issue with the F6S. So the only way to solve this issue is just to make another profile and to start from the scratch. So why do we have to write so many things? We have work to do. Do we really have to write? Thomas, unfortunately, this is up to you. If you want to get the money, you need to provide us the information we require. Otherwise, we will not be able to evaluate your proposal. Reza, will you explain more about the self-assessment? Yes, there is a page that it's linked in both in the FAQ document and in the call. That is basically you go on this European Union page. You just need to provide the information, are basically information that you find in your annual report, and then to understand if you are an SME or not. It's friendly tool we can I think probably we can show it. Let me just go there. Yeah, I don't find the link now. No, in the FAQ there is no this link. You just type SME self-assessment. You can share. Okay. Can you see it? You can see my screen. Can you confirm?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So you just type the name of your company. And then the wizard reminds you that in order to be an SME, an entity, you must meet all the quantitative criteria listed below. Employ less than 250 people, have an annual turnover not exceeding 50 million euros, and have an annual balance sheet total not exceeding 43 million. So you start. Is basically creative engaged in economic activity? Yes. Enter data from the relevant accounting period. Would you like to use a consolidated account for this entity? Yes. No. So consolidated account are for linked company, but in our case we're independent actually. So date of closure of the accounting period. You need to select the day, for instance, let's put 31st December 2021. Staff headcount, I put 23. Annual turnover, annual balance sheet, it's holiday. No shareholders to add. No participation to add. No other relationship to add. Finish and view the results. Okay. And basically, this is Basilicata Creativa qualifies as an SME, but it's an easy thing to do, as you have seen. So I think that we can move on with the. If it's clear, we can move on with the other questions. I
can go on, Giovanni. Okay.
Okay.
The next one. So from Mike Papagatangelu, I got a few questions. Can we apply for an ongoing project? Probably you speak about you don't speak about the travel grants, but for the small scale and the small lump sum. Yeah, I would say that for the small lump sum, let's say you have already done some training for digitalization, but now you want to have one more, then of course it's I think it's considered a new one. But for the, let's say the 200,000 euro money, well, I think that officially, if it's not double funded, but you have already done something, but now you would like to get access to this fund, you can shape it somehow. But I don't know if Giovanni, maybe you have
Yeah, I would prefer that the project starts for the other kind of project to start after the signature of the grant agreement. So what makes it eligible is that the activity starts after the signature of the grant agreement, apart from travel grants.
Yeah.
Daniel,
And we can get up to 33. That means that we can apply multiple times for the same type of grant, 2 travel grants or 2 upskilling grants. It's not excluded. It's not excluded. Basically, you can. Yeah, you can. Of course, if there will be, let's say, 10 travel grants, then in the evaluation, we will see that. But I would say that it's not excluded. If you want to use 2 travel grants and 2 upskilling grants for different projects, of course, or different purposes, let's say one in digitalization and one in greening, then you can do that, yes. Diego,
can you show how to submit several grants for the same company in the platform? It's basically starting again from the beginning. So this means go on F6S, log out from your previous account, create a new one using a different email. I know this is a pain in the neck, but this is the only way we can we have to overcome this issue. And you do again you invent a company name for that specific application, while all the other information will be the same. So if your company is Basilicata Creativa, the application, the applicant name will be another one, but the company name in the application form will be Basilicata Creativa for all the grants that Basilicata Creativa will apply. I mean, this. What I expect is that here the name that I see here can be different. For instance, I put like create new, change and start over. I create test 902, create, and then I will have another application linked to another profile, but the company name here will be Basilicata Creativa, because this is the information that us as evaluators will check, whilst this is something that connects just to F6S, but it's not F6S evaluating the proposals. It's Creathriv-EU. Yeah.
It's Diego here. Yes, a little follow-up question. When you have changed, you create a new account there. I mean, can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Okay, before it was test 901, right?
Yeah.
Now you created test 902. So the information in the previous 901 was deleted, and you're restarting a new one there?
No, just to make it clear, you will not be able to have all these applications here. You can have just one here, because you need to create another user account on F6S.
No, I understand that. But imagine that I submitted an application yesterday, okay?
Yeah.
With an email account. But I'm seeing that I haven't attached the SME self-assessment, okay? So if I want to resubmit the application, I'll have to go to my account where I did the application and then create a new one there to replace it.
No. No. You need to select okay. I don't think that you need to start again, but I will let me deal with the F6S support.
Okay.
But in case, because I saw that some finalized application hadn't submitted the SME self-assessment, and I sent a message to integrate those documents. We'll find a way. Anyway,
Okay.
you know, that was an eligibility condition but since the application was already finalized, either you start the application again or you can edit. I think that you have the possibility to edit the application. Anyway, before giving the final answer, we need to get in touch with the F6S technical support.
Okay.
And come back to and upload the answer in the application.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you.
Then we have two questions, one from Anna, but it's already answered. So yes, you can apply 2 times for the same grants, travel grants extra EU, with the different purposes, yes. And where the partners must come from, can they be all from the same country? So this is for the 20,000 lump sum, probably. Yes, they can be from the same country. Yes, but it's not a must, but it can be from the same country. It seems logical that you have been working with someone maybe for ages and then you would like to have a new development. So it can be from the same country, yes. And also for the 5,000, it can be, let's say, the advisory company can be from the same country, but can be from other countries as well. There is no restriction. And matter all expenses must happen after the date of concession. So yeah, the signing the agreement, yes.
Yeah, it's not the expenses because there is no financial report.
Yeah, but if we speak about but if we speak about travel grants, for example, it cannot be a travel grant from last week, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, but you don't have to account the wages and so on in this project, so you don't have expenses which you have to show us. But all the activity, I would say, all the activities must happen after the date of concession. That's a better shaping of the words.
May I involve a startup company starting in 2023 for the collaboration pilot project, I suppose?
Yes.
Yes,
Because,
you can.
because the other company don't have to show financial data or whatever, whether it's an NGO, whether it's a civil organization or a university. Yes, you can, but you will receive the money as discussed.
Yeah. Can I edit, cancel, redo a complete application? I think so. I don't know if you have already tried because I haven't submitted any application so far, but I think that you can withdraw your application. Anyway, I'll check with F6S support. Yes. Can I download the result summary of the SME assessment? Yeah, doesn't seem that you can download it, but you take a screenshot and you attach it to your application. So because I don't see that you can generate a PDF, but you can take a screenshot. Forgive me if you've already answered this question, but I understand correctly. Can't be considered as SME and apply. The NGO. We said that according to the SME definition, no matter the legal status of an organization to be considered an SME. So, am I correct, Jolt? I think.
Yes. For the last question, the NGO.
Yeah.
Yes, an NGO can be considered an SME and apply, but an NGO can be a partner in the collaboration project.
Yeah.
But it cannot receive money from this project. So many questions we had. It's good news.
Yeah. Other questions?
I also would like to add that you also are able to give those questions live if you want to know, like now is the time to do that.
Marta, to your question, what if a company is not yet established but will be set up soon? Can the company still participate in the call? I would say no.
No, because
As we
this
said.
company is not an SME according to the self-assessment, probably. So, yeah, no,
Cannot
but no.
perform a self-assessment.
Yeah.
It's not a financial report officially registered.
Yes.
Can you send us the presentation? They will be shared, and also the recording of the session will be shared.
Yes, we'll share in the event links in LinkedIn and Facebook.
Thank you. Regarding CRL and TRL, where can we find the information regarding CRL and TRL? In the guide for applicant, there is a link. How can we demonstrate that CRL and TRL for? Yeah, it's there is demonstrating is a big word, because if something is on the market, is available on the market, obviously is a CRL maximum. But in the other case, you need to prove somehow that it's on. Yeah, it's only to us. What do you mean? It's only to us? The CRL or the TRL, as the prototype being tested in real environment.
Okay,
so-
we send some story of our prototype. Is enough.
What do you say?
We are sure that our platform is at level CTR 4 and more for the commercial phase. We can say that is sufficient in our form. Is that sufficient?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Isa, for sharing the link to the MathMax.
Do we have any more questions? I think if not, then we can move to the last part, the matchmaking session. I received a email from Thomas, who wanted to present himself for the potential partners. Are you here? not at the moment, then maybe if anyone else wants to look for the partner here and ask and tell about their project or the idea, this is your time. I know Schultz said that he knows that someone wanted to speak.
I cannot find her now. She left.
Okay. So anyway, if you hadn't registered but you want to present your idea, you can do that now. If you need a partner, if you need a consultant. Quiet. Okay, then if no one wants to speak, then we can, I guess, end the session and we'll send the recording. Unless you have some last questions or any thoughts, then we can finish this Q&A and wish you best of luck with your applications. We're waiting for them.
So,
Yeah,
thanks a
thank you very
lot.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Okay,
good
bye.
day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Shall we move to another link to a follow-up?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll send it.
Okay.
So talk to you in a bit.
Talk to you.
Thank you for all. Okay.